Bring up reparations at a family dinner and watch the room split in half. One side hears justice, and the other side, well, they hear a tab that they didn't run up. And both sides usually think the question is, should America ever pay for a historical wrong? Here's the thing. Almost nobody in that room knows that question is already settled. America has paid or backed reparations at least 4 times. A Republican president signed one of those checks, actually, and almost nobody calls any of it controversial today. So the real question, the one worth 10 minutes of your time, isn't whether reparations are un-American, it's why the answer keeps changing depending on who's asking. I'm Zach Carter. Let's pull the receipts. February 1942, Executive Order 9066. 120,000 people of Japanese ancestry, 2/3 of them American citizens, are removed from their homes on the West Coast and sent to camps. Farms sold in days for pennies. Businesses gone. No charges, no trials. 46 years later, Congress did something rare. It looked backward on purpose. The Civil Liberties Act of 1988 issued a formal apology on behalf of the United States and paid $20,000 to every surviving internee. More than 80,000 people received payments. Total cost over $1.5 billion. And the president who signed it was Ronald Reagan. His words at the signing, "Here we admit a wrong." Notice what didn't happen. The country didn't collapse. Taxes didn't explode. It's remembered by conservatives and liberals alike as America at its best, strong enough to admit a mistake and to put a number on it. It wasn't a one-off. 1952, West Germany signs the Luxembourg Agreement. Reparations to Holocaust survivors and to Israel. The deal happened with strong American support. Germany has paid tens of billions since, and payments to survivors continue to this day. America didn't call that divisive. We called it justice. 2001, 11 days after September 11th, Congress creates the Victim Compensation Fund, about $7 billion to the families of the victims. Nobody asked the families to prove the government caused the attack. The country simply decided when the unthinkable happens to Americans, we respond with more than words. And 1946, this one's almost forgotten. Congress created the Indian Claims Commission specifically so tribes could sue the United States over broken treaties and taken land. Over 3 decades, it awarded on the order of $1.3 billion. Imperfect? Deeply. Ask any tribal nation. But the principle was on the books. The government can owe and the government can pay. 4 precedents: internment survivors, Holocaust survivors, 9/11 families, Native nations, different eras, different parties in power, same principle. When America or the world breaks something on this scale, a check and an apology are how grown-up nations respond. Now, hold that same principle steady and look at one American city. Greenwood, the Black District of Tulsa, Oklahoma. By 1921, it was so prosperous people called it Black Wall Street. Hotels, theaters, doctors, its own newspapers. In June of 1921, over about 18 hours, a white mob burned it to the ground. 35 square blocks. As many as 300 people killed. 10,000 left homeless. And here's the part that connects to everything we just covered. The survivors did exactly what you're supposed to do. They filed insurance claims. The claims were denied. Riot exclusion clauses. They sued, dismissed. The last surviving victims were still asking courts for restitution a century later. They got nothing. In 2001, Oklahoma's own official commission studied the massacre and recommended restitution. It was never paid. Compare that to 1988 and be honest about the difference. And Greenwood isn't even the beginning. January 1865, Special Field Orders number 15 set aside coastal land, the famous 40 acres for freed families. By that fall, President Andrew Johnson had reversed it and returned the land to the former owners. That's not a myth or a metaphor. It's the first American reparation that was actually issued and then taken back within the year. Now, the strongest objection, stated fairly because it deserves it. The 1988 payments went to living survivors, the people harmed, not their great-grandchildren. Slavery has no living survivors. That's the difference. That is a real distinction. And here's what it runs into. The Tulsa survivors were living. They asked for 100 years and were told no. Redlining, federal maps that walled black families out of the mortgage market ran into the late 1960s. Millions of people affected by it are alive right now. If proximity to the harm is the standard, fine. Apply the standard. It still hasn't been. Second objection. It's too complicated. Who qualifies, who pays, how much. Also fair. But notice, the bill that's been introduced in Congress every session since 1989, H.R. 40, doesn't pay anyone $1. It creates a commission to study the question, the same tool we used before acting in 1946 and 1988. For 35 years, the ask has been to study it. And for 35 years, the answer has been no vote. So here's where I land. And you don't have to land with me. You can hear all this and still oppose reparations. Plenty of thoughtful people do, actually. What I don't think survives this history is the claim that the question is radical. Reagan didn't think so. The Congress of 1946 didn't think so either. The country that stood behind Holocaust survivors didn't think so. Consistency isn't a left-wing value or a right-wing value. It's just what fairness looks like when it grows up. Same standard, every group, every time. And if the standard says no, it should say no for reasons that would have also said no in 1988. So here's my question for you. And I read every comment. If the study commission had a different name for it, would you support it? Tell me honestly. I'd rather have your real, raw, unfiltered answer than your polite one. I'm Zach Carter. We're all under construction. See you in the next one.